I almost don't know what to say. We asked both the mayor and the lieutenant governor to be here today to speak to this group about issues confronting our region, but gentlemen, those comments were so direct, so blunt, and so exactly right with regard to the challenges and the opportunities that we face in this region. So I just want to invite everyone in this room to once again thank our lieutenant governor and our mayor for their comments. You know, for the last 100 years, we've benefited in this region from great leadership, great vision, and from an amazing partnership between the business community, our elected officials, and our not-for-profits. And we've talked a lot over today about the accomplishments of the last 100 years. You know, we originally benefited from being terminus, the crossroads of the rail lines that caused us to be the center of the American South. We then benefited again from being at the intersection of three major interstate highways through the Interstate Investment Act in 1956. We became the center for human rights. We became the city too busy to hate. We hosted the 1996 Olympics. And even in this difficult economy, we have been the third fastest growing region in the country, adding almost 1 million people to our region just in the last 10 years. So we stand here today at a crossroads in our region, standing on the shoulders of the leadership that's gone before us over the last 100 years. And the question that sort of comes to my mind today is, 50 years from now, whoever is at this podium, at this meeting, what will they say about us? What legacy will we leave? And as Matt said in his remarks, how do we kick it up a notch? How do we pay it forward? And what's the next best thing as we stand at this extraordinary crossroads? I won't take much time on the Transportation Investment Act because both the mayor and the lieutenant governor have covered that thoroughly, but we have the opportunity in July of 2012 for our voters to go to the polls and impose upon themselves a tax that will allow us to invest almost $7 billion in our transportation system. And I do have a couple of special recognitions that I'd like to make. As the mayor said, on October the 13th, our regional roundtable unanimously approved the project list in what has been described and which I support. It was a historic event, and that would not have happened without the leadership of the chairman of the executive committee and the chairman of the roundtable, the mayor of Norcross, Bucky Johnson. I'd like to ask Bucky Johnson to stand. And Bucky, I'm going to ask you to stand again because I'd like all the members of the regional roundtable, all 21 members who are here today, to stand and be recognized for your leadership. But you know, it's a cliche that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and certainly the approval of the project list is a very, very important and badly needed first step. But we still have much to do before the journey is completed. And so the question next becomes, what do we do now? Between now and July the 31st of 2012, with regard to educating our population on what's involved in their vote with regard to the regional transportation referendum. And there are two business leaders in this room today that I would like to recognize. One is Bob Voiles, CEO of Seven Oaks Company, who will lead MAVEN, the Metropolitan Atlanta Voter Education Network. Bob, would you stand and be recognized? And secondly, Dave Stockert, Chairman and CEO of Post Properties, who will lead the advocacy campaign, the Citizens for Transportation Mobility, which is the advocacy campaign to encourage a yes vote when the voters go to the polls in 2012. Dave, thank you for your leadership as well. I think it speaks volumes that these two CEOs, these two business leaders in our community, have committed the time and the effort and their resources to leading these two vital campaigns. You know, our region is growing more diverse and older and younger. If that sounds like a contradiction, it's not. We're getting older and younger at the same time. Our aging population currently consists of 750,000 people over the age of 65. In 20 years, that'll be 1.5 million. Our aging population, our elderly population, is going to double over the next 20 years, but at the same time, the under 25s, the millennium generation, as they're called, are coming to our region in droves. In the last decade, 93% of all net growth in our region came from non-whites, and by 2015, we projected ARC that there will be no majority ethnic group in our region. This directly impacts how we deliver transportation solutions, how we deliver effective communities in order to support a rapidly changing demographic throughout our region. We will need very different types of communities. We'll need different types of housing and transportation systems to accommodate the changing face of our region. In addition to that, as the Lieutenant Governor and the Mayor talked about, we face probably our number one challenge, which is our vital water resource, both the quality and the availability of water resources. And under the leadership of the Governor, the Lieutenant Governor, the Mayor, Speaker of the House, conservation, capture of additional water through additional reservoirs, and a control plan working with the federal government through the Corps of Engineers to better manage the water resources that are available to us in Lake Lanier and to increase those resources to us are going to be extremely vital. And in the process of managing our water resources and managing transportation resources and managing and providing choice to our rapidly growing elderly population as well as the young people that are moving here, ARC's Livable Centers initiative continues to seed new concepts and plans, and our Lifelong Communities program, which is our program that serves the elderly population, is making strides in Mableton, DeKalb County, Peachtree Hills, and other areas to create quality communities where people can live for an entire lifetime.